by Ramirez. Hooker looks hurt. Hooker stays.
Raining in from Ramirez. A big shot.
Reed nowhere to go. It's over. Oh, look at it. Goes it again. What an uppercut. My, oh, my.
No blood.
A huge left hand. That was absolutely awesome.
So we are less than 1 month out from the May 2nd card in Times Square, headlined by Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, followed up by Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez, and Teofimo Lopez versus Barboza. Today I wanted to talk about a fight that I feel like isn't being talked about enough, and this fight I feel like is the most important. Besides Ryan and Rolly, this fight will determine what happens with Devin Haney. It's set in stone the Ryan and Haney rematch is set for September, but both guys must win their fights on May 2nd. Devin Haney is fighting a guy, and Jose Ramirez, who, I mean, when watching the guy, I had never watched him before, but you could tell there was a good reason as to why they picked him as the opponent, especially ahead of the Ryan rematch. The guy resembles a lot of what Ryan does. He has a great left hook, has put a ton of guys away with it. He's just a come forward fighter. He's all pressure. He's gonna be game. He's gonna be a ready opponent. He's coming off a loss versus Barboza, which he will be fighting Teofimo Lopez. We'll talk about that fight another time. Let's go back to the Ryan Garcia fight. Devastating loss for Devin Haney. I mean, dude was on top of the world, 31-0. Two-time world champ, great resume. And then all his dreams just came crushing down over Ryan Garcia. You know, when thinking about it, dropped 3 times, even some of the shots that didn't put him down, you could tell had a big effect on him. I mean, there's a clear reason why he took the year off. You know, he wasn't suspended, Ryan was, but he still decided to take a year out of the sport. But he probably needed it, not only to recover physically, but mentally as well. His confidence was probably on a downward spiral, losing to a guy that he thought was so below him. And I've been saying for a long time, Haney's biggest flaw, he can't handle pressure. Lomachenko was a perfect example. Walking him down, throwing the combinations, really got Haney out of his rhythm. The problem is, Loma didn't carry power like Ryan, that was going to throw Haney off guard, put him on defense and make him scared to throw back, because Loma caught him with a lot of counters, but he didn't have the power to gain a ton of Haney's respect like Ryan was able to. And a lot of that contributes to the size difference between the two, which Haney now going up to 147, he's not going to have that edge over guys like Boots, Ryan in the rematch, and Ramirez, who is a naturally bigger guy who's been fighting at over 140, 145 all his life. For this to be his comeback fight, putting the Ryan rematch at risk, and you gotta think he's itching to get in there with him again and prove everybody wrong and that it was PEDs that were solely responsible, which I think is bullshit. But if he's able to get through Ramirez, then that puts the Ryan rematch in a whole new light for me. You gotta think, big, huge opportunity for him, Times Square. Like, this is massive if he could pull this off and get thrown in the mix with Ryan Garcia, Teofimo, life-changing. So you gotta think he's gonna show up and give it his all. And I saw a video, I don't know if you guys know Showbiz, but he had made a pretty good point. He had talked about how because Ryan was able to match Haney in size, whereas in the fights prior, Haney had always had that advantage. Haney now moving up to 147, you gotta think the guys he's gonna be facing, he's definitely gonna have a disadvantage in many categories. And I mean, we saw it against Ryan. He was getting manhandled in places like the clinch, where he resorts to in most of his fights. That's where he's most comfortable to get out of bad situations. And we saw Ryan just straight ragdoll him, and you got to think him going up in weight. I'd imagine in the future, even going up to 154, his power's not going to be an issue. I mean, even at 140 and 135, it wasn't. I genuinely think we could see an upset here, and it really depends how much Haney has recovered from that loss. So Haney's got a big chip on his shoulder. I don't know how it's going to go. Again, as of recent years, Ramirez hasn't looked as good as he did 5 years ago, but he's still somewhat of the same fighter. He's more disciplined, which, like I said this about Ryan, I thought because he was so out of character and in a way psychotic, like that helped him in the fight. Like now that he's more focused, I think we're gonna see a more hesitant and patient Ryan, and we'll talk about it when we cover the Rolly fight, but I feel like it's not going to work too well for him. Maybe against Rolly, because now he'll actually be focused and calculated, and Rolly, he isn't as skilled of a boxer as Haney. He's just a brawler. And yeah, you'd want to be calculated for someone like that. But against Haney, you know, if he's picking his shots and not just trying to take his head off, then he's probably gonna lose, because It's pretty notable that Haney won pretty much every round that he wasn't dropped in. Like, I gave Ryan the first round, Haney 2-6, 7th round to Ryan. I mean, that's a pretty wide gap. Round 2-6, Ryan was getting outboxed. You want to take Haney out of his comfort zone, and that's where I think Jose Ramirez is gonna be able to test him there. So let me know who you guys got in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.